on this. When it comes to rollables and foldables, I think, obviously if you want one, go for it, right? Would I recommend a foldable or rollable to the quote unquote average consumer or everyday tech consumer? No, not yet. Not with the current technology. And that's not to say it's bad. It's a matter of durability. It seems like people are not overly careful with a lot of their things. So for example, I can take my Note 10 Plus here and I can just toss it on the table just like that. Okay. It's a soft mouse pad over here. It's the leather Nomad mouse pad, but I could just kind of like that, right? If it was a foldable or rollable, like if I had one of those devices, I wouldn't do that. I would actually place the device down. I would consciously be more careful with it. It's the same way that sometimes when I go to restaurants, or when we used to go to restaurants, or we go out for dinners with people, I would see people just put their phones right next to their drink or their beverage, whatever you want to call it, and I would cringe at that.
Don't do that.
Because I'm just like, if that drink falls over, I mean, whether you have waterproofing or not, I mean, you're going to have some problems. So I always keep, like, for example, my devices in my pocket somewhere safe. Right now, for example, with the Galaxy Fold devices, they actually come with warnings in the device. There it says, if your fingernails are too long, things like that, don't use this or be careful with it, kind of thing, right? So if I were just to hand over to anybody, I mean, I've seen people break their device just from tossing on a table like that, or just being not careful, constantly dropping their devices. My wife is an example of this. I'm not making fun of her, but my wife's a perfect example of this. She has to have a drop protection case because she drops her phone 2 or 3 times a day. It's I don't know how she does it. She'll be sitting there with it, and all of a sudden it falls. I'm like, did you fall asleep? What happened? I think it's a durability thing. Why I wouldn't recommend right now. Of course, if someone's gonna be getting that kind of device, I would definitely pay attention what the manufacturer is saying and what to do or not to do, and understand that you have a very delicate device. I still feel, we're only really 2 years, almost 3 years into foldables and rollables kind of being the whole next gen kind of thing. They're still very much in their infancy, and they're still, in my opinion, very much a luxury consumer electronic, a luxury mobile device compared to the norm. Will that time come where it's the norm for everybody? I'm sure it will. That time is not now. So I would not recommend to the everyday person, unless they know what they're getting into and they know they can be careful. I wouldn't recommend it right now. And also from a price standpoint, holy cow. Because honestly, what can a foldable or rollable device do that would give a better experience over what I can do with this slab? Yes, I'm aware that it can fold up and be a smaller form factor in your pocket, purse, whatever, your bag, whatever. But is there something, like, do the apps work differently? Do they do things interact differently because it's foldable or rollable? No. There are some cases, like for example with the Z Fold, for example, where you can have it, in that kind of position there. If this was a Z Fold, for example, and you could have, information down here on your screen up there. That I can see as a bit of an advantage. But other than that, on that one instance, that one type of device, I don't see the draw for the main consumers right now, for the general consumer, public right now. The people that are buying these devices in droves. For us nerds, for all of us geeks, yeah, let's go for it. Let's give her. It's fun.